You're watching UATV English. We broadcast from the heart of Europe, Ukraine's on the air. My name is Anna Nichenko. Hello and welcome. Ukrainian peace formula, results of World Economic Forum for Ukraine and the whole world, and security guarantees from the United Kingdom we will discuss today. So, Volodymyr Zelensky visited the World Economic Forum at Davos. There he met with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. Parties discussed the situation on the battlefield, Ukraine's defense needs, strengthening the Ukrainian air defense system, and preparations for the next NATO summit in Washington. In Davos, Zelensky took part in the meeting with leaders of big business. He spoke about the economic growth of Ukraine, which exceeded 5% last year, and about optimistic forecast for GDP growth for 2024. He invited businessmen to invest in Ukraine and participate in restoration. Zelensky discussed air defense and long-range capabilities of the Ukrainian army with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, as well as with U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. And during his speech at the World Economic Forum, Volodymyr Zelensky said that the Russian dictator stole 13 years of peace from everyone and replaced them with pain and crisis.
The full-scale war in Europe has been ongoing for nearly 2 years. Counting the time since Russia's illegal annexation of our Crimea, it's been almost 10 years. And for almost 10 years, Russia has been interfering in African countries from Sudan to Mali. The Syrian war still bleeding because of Putin's decision to prove something to the world has been ongoing for almost 13 years. In fact, one man has stolen at least 13 years of peace, replacing them with pain, and crises that impact the entire world. Putin is trying to normalize what should have ended in the 20th century. Mass deportations, cities and villages razed to the ground, and the terrifying feeling that the war may never end.
Also in Davos was discussed 5 of the 10 points of the Ukrainian peace formula. This is restoration of the territorial integrity of Ukraine, withdrawal of Russian troops, and also accept that Moscow's payment of reparations and the creation of a military tribunal, signing a peace treaty with the widest possible participation of states and international organizations. On Sunday, the meeting of national security advisors and foreign policy advisors to the heads of state on the implementation of the peace formula was held in Davos. The key principles of achieving a comprehensive, just and lasting peace for Ukraine were discussed in detail. And also before his visit to Davos, the president of Ukraine met with the president of Switzerland, who two countries agreed to start preparations for the Global Peace Summit at the level of leaders. It was stated by Volodymyr Zelensky following the meeting with President of Switzerland. The Ukrainian leader emphasized that this summit should provide the momentum for everything that has already been accomplished and make it certain that the end of the war can only be just and that the restoration of the force of international law must be truly comprehensive. The theme and some others we will discuss with our guest, Maria Mezentseva, member of the Ukrainian Parliament, head of the Ukrainian delegation to Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. Hello and welcome, Maria.
Hello, Anna, and hello, all the viewers of Freedom.
As for you, does the Zelensky visit to Switzerland and to World Economic Forum in particular was successful, and what were the main achievements of President Tim?
It was absolutely historic, unprecedented, successful, with positive outcome visit of the leader of our nation and also the leader of freedom of the free nations of the world, Volodymyr Zelensky. His presence and his speech, his private B2B meetings, group meetings, really made it happen to Davos being reshuffled, reshaped, and reminded that that it's us in Ukraine who are currently fighting not only for the word freedom, but we conduct actions to preserve freedom for the whole world. It's extremely important because different global companies, different politicians from the global south are present here. This gives us a very strategical point of discussions. How can we address the peace formula? Example of a very fast track results is the fact that President Zelensky confirmed with the president of Switzerland that the leaders summit for examining peace formula will be held here in Switzerland. It means that Switzerland stands by our side. It's not neutral. It stands on the right side of the history. And as you have rightly said, the question of justice remains on the top priority. For me, it was very important, and as for other members of parliament and our amazing warriors, our defenders, medical workers who are here with us in Davos, who made official speeches in the Ukrainian breakfast, it's extremely important how profound the issue of weapons, weapon delivery, weapon production in Ukraine, new packages of support from France, Germany, Latvia, Lithuania, the 100 years partnership agreement, unprecedented document of international partnership with UK. David Cameron referred to it today, saying that, look, guys, we have given Ukraine everything we could and we had to. Please follow our example. And this is something that Winston Churchill referred to in last century, in the late 30s. He said, give us everything and we will fight the evil. We will fight the enemy. I think it's about having weapons is about having more justice daily basis, having less consequences, less war crimes, less shelling. And that's why President Zelensky and many members of our delegation rise up the issue of air defense. This is to have sufficient air defense as of to say systems Patriot, for the support of Patriot systems like NASAMS, of course other important things like artillery, surveillance systems, drones production inside of the country. And it looks like we are shifting to a good mood and good spirit of internal production, still remaining the only country which examines and, let's say, fulfills the criteria of NATO, not being a NATO member state, but being the most active army among 31 member countries of NATO, soon to be 32, hopefully in the future with Ukraine becoming 33 member states. So Putin has failed in his strategy on defeating, decreasing or diminishing NATO. It's growing, it's becoming stronger, and everyone understands today the global security consists of many components, and it's not only about military, it's about economy, energy, food. And I would like to thank private companies like Zurich Insurance, which is a global worldwide insurance company, which is after Ukraine House is the second one in Davos, having a pavilion dedicated fully to Ukraine. They delivered to Ukraine, to Kyiv region, to Donbas, amazing generators for schools, for medical facilities, for private houses, of course, to maintain the life rolling, food, the famous blue hats. All of this are important to mention because there is no small support. There are partners we are thankful, and there are partners who set up a precedent and example for others to follow. Yes, indeed, there is a Chinese challenge, there is a global South challenge, Indian challenge. We will work extensively for today and tomorrow to bring more projects back home and to keep Ukraine high on the agenda. We are happy to be here and we are happy to advocate for our home country, which remains high on the agenda for economic global forum.
Speaking about our goals, your opinion, what goals our team, presidential team, haven't achieved? Speaking about Davos, but should, but will.
Well, this is the work in progress. Unfortunately, President is constrained in timing. So he's already back to the capital, ruling the country, addressing important issues. And this is normal. He couldn't stay for the whole working week. That's why we are here to back him up at the parliamentary level, at the level of NGOs. You can see our delegation is at the back. There are many people here. There are those who advocate for justice, for considering war crimes, for bringing Ukrainian children back, those who are deported forcibly by Russia to Russian territory in Belarus, which is a massive genocidal crime, for many of those who are backing us with information forces, with information support. And I think these are the tasks that we have from the peace formula of the president, from his team, from his office, but also ministers are staying with us. Today we will have discussions in Ukrainian House on rebuilding Ukraine, on weapons production. But the most important people, I have in front of me amazing soldier and warrior who defended Mariupol, and their voices are heard. They are speaking from their heart. It's him passing by, and I have no words. The world finally hear what they have to say, how they survived detention, how they survived forcible stay in captivity in Russia, what they were thinking, how their spirit never broke, how they protected us from day one. So, many top level speakers, by the way, said that it's not us who have to thank, it's the world who have to thank Ukraine for being the shield for many. So I think we have already refreshed the slogans that partners were mentioning. We will stand with the Ukraine as long as it takes. No, no, no. The partners have to stand with us until the victory day and bring it as soon as possible.
Great words, and really world support really matters. I would like to talk to you about one guest, Ukrainian guest. It was Rishi Sunak this week, and during his visit to Ukraine, he and Volodymyr Zelensky signed security agreement. This is really a document that really important. It's a really important signal to the whole world, and it really shows that Ukraine has serious allies who will continue to provide strong support. And what did you highlight for yourself in his visit in support of Great Britain?
Well, of course, we have to talk about numbers, right? It's about military support. It's a package of 2 billion, and it will roll on. So if we consider that Ukraine receives from the whole EU around 1.5 billion euros per month, having it from one country solely, like UK, is a very solid donation to freedom and to the victory. Prime Minister Sunak was very vocal about this historical agreement, 100 years partnership, because we can live it through from day one, as he mentioned. UK didn't hesitate, like other partners, to give us the long-range missiles, to give us NLAWs, to give us Starstreaks, to give us weapons which the names of which we learned in the progress. And this is extremely important for having Britain, who is a historical partner, by our side. They know what aggression is. They supported our common victory back in the days in the Second World War, and they will, as Sunak said, stand by our side for the victory day, for the final celebration. I think it's extremely important to mention our parliamentary cooperation and the next amazing and important event in London, which is the Justice Conference for setting up international tribunal for the crime of aggression. This is our common aim. This is one of the peace plan of President Zelensky, the tribunal for top leadership of Russia, Shoigu, Lavrov, and Putin and others, top military and political leadership. They have to pay for the crime they committed. They planned the aggression, they ordered to execute it, and it produced 120,000 plus war crimes, from raping to killing to forcible disappearances and destruction of our civil infrastructure. This is what Russia is targeted today. These are not military objects. This is civil infrastructure. And of course, the commitment is there. So we are really thankful that London is hosting this international conference for justice, specifically on our initiative to bring top leadership of Russia to justice, including the understanding of legal issues like immunities, which we have to overrule, and other things. And we are extremely thankful to UK to support us in ICC when it comes to investigation of different war crimes as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for all you do. And thanks that you joined today our program. I'll remind our viewers my guest was Maria Mezintseva, member of the Ukrainian Parliament, head of the Ukrainian delegation to Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. So it was UATV English from the heart of Europe. See you in a week.